Right now, the Wisconsin Senate race between Senator Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovde enters its home stretch. We take you to both events from the candidates. Also, an overnight crash in Verona leaves several dead, what we know so far. And we're following late campaign pushes to Wisconsinites by the Harris and Trump campaigns, what the candidates had to say to Wisconsinites. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. A single vehicle crash late Friday night takes the lives of 5 people. According to the Dane County Sheriff's Office, the incident happened just after 11 p.m. on Range Trail, just north of Sunset Drive in Verona. The vehicle was traveling northbound on Range Trail when it left the roadway and struck a tree. The impact caused the vehicle to become engulfed in flames. Multiple first responders arrived on the scene but were unable to save any of the occupants. The cause of the crash is currently under investigation by the Sheriff's Office. A man is arrested early Saturday morning following an attempted traffic stop that turned into a vehicle pursuit. According to the Monona Police Department, an officer saw a vehicle with a shattered rear window and expired registration operating within the city limits around 2:45 Saturday morning. As the officer attempted a traffic stop as the car exited onto Highway 51 heading north, police say the suspect took off, prompting a vehicle pursuit. The suspect eventually lost control of the vehicle, crashing into a fire hydrant. The suspect then exited the car and led officers on a brief foot chase before being apprehended. The suspect was taken to the Dane County Jail where he was booked on a parole violation. MOPD recommended charges for felony attempted eluding, resisting arrest, and possession of cocaine. 1 person is critically injured and 3 in all are without a home following an overnight apartment building fire in Madison. According to the Madison Fire Department, they were dispatched to the 4900 block of Camden Road late Friday night following reports of a fire in a 4-unit apartment building. MFD says firefighters encountered flames and thick black smoke in one of the upstairs units. During their efforts, firefighters located 1 person trapped inside the fire of the impacted unit. They rescued the person and transported them to a local hospital. That person is currently in critical condition. 2 other occupants were displaced by the fire. Now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex, welcome back to the weekends.
Thank you. And I got my rain jacket on here, not my winter jacket because we got rain on the way. I had my winter jacket on just a couple days ago when we briefly cooled down, but you're going to need a rain jacket over the next few days. We got a lot of rain in the forecast. But where is it, Alex? On Storm Tracker right now and Radar 3000. Not showing anything yet. All the green is off to the south and west over Iowa, about 120 miles away from Madison. But it's going to quickly advance towards the north and towards the east. Our rain chances will go up as we go into the early morning hours of Sunday. But by the time we get into Sunday afternoon, you can be guaranteed to get wet. And there's plenty more rain in the forecast Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday. Coming up in Maine weather, I'll let you know how much we get and when the rain ends on Election Day Tuesday.
All right, Alex, thank you. Just 3 days to the election, the senatorial candidates are continuing to battle over Wisconsin. Our Ellie La Liberté shows us how both are trying to win over voters up until the last minute.
From Iowa County to Walworth County.
We have a very tight, we're a battleground state. We have a very tight race at the top for the president. And this Senate race is tight, too.
Both Senate candidates are looking to get out the vote just days before November 5th.
And just get out there, work hard. I feel the momentum. I think things are really going well and heading in our direction.
Trying to reach every last voter.
It's really always been important to me to get all around the state to meet voters where they're at.
Yeah, there's not one part of the state that I'm not working hard to gain their votes.
A recent Marquette Law School poll showing incumbent Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin with a narrow edge over her Republican challenger Eric Hovde.
We know that that's going to be what this race in Wisconsin comes down to, is turnout.
Both Baldwin and Hovde supporters are aware of the pull smaller communities can have.
The message isn't always clear in some of these smaller communities. And the smaller communities are the ones that are getting so much mismessaging that they really need the clarity of having somebody come face to face.
I think it's important that the candidates come and speak to us locally. It's great to hear more of their side instead of all the negative ads on TV.
Both campaigns hoping these voters will swing their way come Election Day. Reporting in Iowa and Walworth County, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. It's not just the senatorial candidates making a last push to Wisconsin voters. Just down the road in Milwaukee, both former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris campaign just a few miles apart from one another, further emphasizing the importance our state will play in Tuesday's election. Friday's rally could mark the last time the former president makes his case for and to Wisconsin voters in person. Fiserv Forum, home of Friday's rally, is the same place former President Trump accepted the Republican Party's nomination for president. That rally, the former president spoke about the economy, tariffs, the border, and his claims that black and brown people are losing jobs to migrants, and continued his attacks on Vice President Harris's mental acuity and physical fitness. Here is the former president speaking to those at Fiserv Forum.
This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure, or whether we'll begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. They're going to be the 4 greatest years.
And just down the road, Vice President Harris also making a late push to Wisconsin voters. Harris just a few miles down the road with another star-studded event with an appearance from several stars, including Cardi B, Keegan-Michael Key, Glorilla, and others. She spoke to supporters in West Allis that Trump is bad for the economy, their health care, and women's reproductive rights, as well as taking aim at Project 2025.
It's either going to be him there on day one, walking into that office, stewing over his enemies list, or when I am elected, walking in on your behalf with my to-do list.
A recent Marquette Law School poll shows among likely voters, Vice President Harris leads former President Trump 50-49. And among the flurry of visits, former President Obama will also be making a stop in Milwaukee. WISC Dems announced the former president will speak at the Bayard Center Sunday, with doors opening at 11 a.m. Obama came on late to the campaign trail for the Harris-Walz campaign, with several stops in key battleground states, serving as a surrogate at rallies and taking on interviews on multiple podcasts, speaking for the campaign. And the visits don't just stop there. Here's a look at what we're expecting in the next few days. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance to rally at the La Crosse Center on Monday. Meanwhile, Democratic vice president candidate Tim Walz will also make a campaign stop in La Crosse on Monday. And coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, school referenda will be all over the ballots across Wisconsin when people head to the polls. We break down one from Monroe County after the break.
During COVID, Joan Balwig took $500,000 in federal loans she never paid back. Then voted to block assistance to help other Wisconsin businesses grow. Joan Balwig, out for herself, not you.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The problem with Todd Novak? He voted with his extreme party leaders 100% of the time, like voting against lower prescription prices. And Todd Novak authored the law to ban abortion in Wisconsin, with no exceptions for rape and incest. Todd Novak is with the extremists 100%, and he's hurting Wisconsin. Elizabeth Grabe will defend abortion rights, get more police funding, and bring down costs. Elizabeth Grabe for Assembly.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
Next January, one of us will be president. If it's Donald Trump, he will wake up every day and stew over his enemies list. That will help no one. If I am president, I'll be focused on my to-do list for you, the American people. I'll cut costs by cracking down on corporate price gouging, make housing more affordable, lower taxes for middle-class families, and protect Social Security. I will focus on getting things done. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message. Let's get to work.
This is China, and this is Wisconsin. Joan Ballweg invested thousands of dollars in Chinese companies, but voted against using state funds to help grow companies here in Wisconsin. Joan Ballweg, out for herself, not you.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
By Tuesday, people in half of our state school districts will have seen referendums on their ballots this year. Ahead of the election day, Allison Fergus is highlighting a few of them in the northern part of Wisconsin.
2 Monroe County school districts with the same goal, better learning environments for their students.
Brand new facilities are just as important as the wonderful teachers that are providing extraordinary content.
Toma's $177 million referendum would create a new high school building. The current high school would then be converted into the district's middle school, and the current middle school would become an elementary school. With the upgrades, the district would also close 5 buildings.
So one brand new high school has the opportunity to influence and positively impact our entire physical plant structures here within the school district, answering a lot of the challenges that we observed through a year-long review of our physical plant.
One of those challenges, the district outgrew the buildings.
Some of our elementary schools and our outlying schools, they don't have dedicated art classrooms, music classrooms.
The project would increase property taxes $257 per $100,000 of property value. Less than 20 miles west, Sparta area schools have a similar goal. An $87 million capital referendum would replace an aging wing in the high school building.
Building a 2-story addition in the northeast part of Sparta High School.
The district would move classes into that new space and tear down the older part of the building. The referendum would also cover smaller upgrades at Meadowview Middle and Southside Early Learning Center.
Our goal is that this renovations to all of our district buildings will move our facilities forward for many, many years to come.
Thanks in part to debt payment plans, Sparta's referendum will increase taxes $12 for $100,000 of property value. It's unsurprising that the 2 districts are both turning to a referendum. Almost half of Wisconsin school districts will have gone to a referendum by the end of this year, largely due to state funding falling behind inflation. District officials know taxpayers are being asked to carry the burden, but they say these school projects are important to the community's success.
We want our students, our faculty, and our community members to all experience the power of a brand new building and also the opportunities that it would allow.
For us, it's about the need, not necessarily the want. But every community story is a little bit different, and that's why having these discussions is so important.
That was Allison Fergus reporting. And coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington returns with a complete look of your First One forecast.
So let's get one thing straight. When Donald Trump talks about cutting Social Security and Medicare, it's like spitting in the face of America's seniors. We paid into these programs for our entire careers, and he would just cut them? Why? He wants to give another tax cut to the super rich, which they don't need. I know that Kamala Harris will protect our Social Security because she understands why it's so important for so many of us.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
When I was 27, I was diagnosed with MS. That's life-altering news. I had to prioritize my health and start taking medication. Back then, these cost $6,000 a year. Now the generics cost 5 times that. Senator Baldwin claims she's fighting to lower drug prices, but she's taking millions from Big Pharma and works for them. I'm not taking their money. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'll fight the corruption and lower drug prices because I've lived it.
The problem with Todd Novak? He voted with his extreme party leaders 100% of the time, like voting against lower prescription prices. And Todd Novak authored the law to ban abortion in Wisconsin, with no exceptions for rape and incest. Todd Novak is with the extremists 100%, and he's hurting Wisconsin. Elizabeth Grabe will defend abortion rights, get more police funding, and bring down costs. Elizabeth Grabe for Assembly.
When it comes to your critical medical decisions, you should have the final say. But extreme politician Joan Ballweg says you're wrong. She supports criminalizing abortion even after rape and incest. Or to save the life of the mother, Ballweg would jail doctors for giving life-saving care. And Ballweg even wrote the law that could deny women access to birth control. Joan Ballweg would put extreme politicians in charge of your body and put all Wisconsin women in danger.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no? There has to be some form of punishment. For the woman? Yeah.
And the punishment is real. Women denied care, unable to get pregnant again, traumatized, scarred for life. Young women who didn't need to die. Now 1 in 3 women live under a Trump abortion ban. And if he's elected, everyone will.
There has to be some form of punishment.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Tammy Baldwin has our back. Tammy wrote the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel.
Thanks to Tammy Baldwin, my daughter's inhaler is now only $35 a month.
Tammy's Dairy Business Innovation Act has helped us hire more workers.
Tammy Baldwin's leading the charge to restore Roe v. Wade.
Tammy Baldwin fought like hell to save my retirement.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
To have someone in Washington that's got your back, oh man, that's gold.
Let's get a look at your first one forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Arrington. Alex.
Hey, Jalen, that sounds like a good idea here. Let's start off. Where's the water? Where's this rain that the First One weather team we've been talking about for days of soaking rain on the way to southern Wisconsin? And we can guarantee that. Still about 120 miles away, the first of the showers will be eventually moving towards southwestern Wisconsin. It will take a while to get here, but they will get here. Overnight low temperatures tonight, 45 in Madison. Look at the average low, 34 degrees, and we'll be in the mid to upper 40s. Those showers knocking on the door over portions of southwestern Wisconsin as we get a little bit later into the night, but a mild night tonight. The winds are going to start to increase tonight, and we'll start to see those showers. Widespread showers, a couple of thunderstorms also possible on Sunday. Temperature of 56 in Madison and 50s across southern Wisconsin. Those highs are likely going to be reached in the evening hours as a warm front comes up from the south. Cooler temperatures to start the day. By the end and going into the evening, you're going to actually, if you step outside, even though it'll be raining, you're going to feel the difference as we go into tomorrow evening. First, starting off 4 o'clock in the morning, well, those showers will eventually advance in here 2, 3, 4 in the morning. They'll become more widespread across southern Wisconsin, west of Madison by 8 o'clock. There you see the showers and maybe even a clap or two of thunder over south central and southwestern Wisconsin. As we get into the afternoon hours on Sunday, there's the widespread green and a couple of yellow and orange dots here as well. Those are those claps of thunder that we're expecting. And while we could have a few breaks here in the rainfall Monday going on into Tuesday as well, most of the time it's going to be raining. By the time all is said and done, widespread amounts from northwest to southeast across the area of 1, 2, maybe even 3 inches of rain across southern Wisconsin. So this is going to be an impactful rain for our drought conditions across the area. A lot of folks saw heavy rainfall just a few days ago, and this is certainly going to help. What also will be clear Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it is going to be breezy. We could be looking at wind gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour all 3 days. And I mentioned earlier in First Weather, when can we expect the rain to end? Later Election Day Tuesday afternoon. So during the mid to late afternoon hours, those showers will scoot on out of here. We might even see a break or two in the skies by the end of Tuesday, staying unseasonably mild. Then, well, normal temperatures Wednesday going on into Thursday. By the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, another cooler, wet weather pattern as yet another weather system moves in to southern Wisconsin. We fall back again tonight, folks. Gain that extra hour of sleep. Daylight savings time, well, that ends, and then that begins all over again here as we go out and spring forward on March 9th, so that's a ways away. Viewer photo real quick here from Highland. This is actually a shower on Wednesday in that departing weather system. And guess what, Highland? You're going to have more showers. Michelle, we'd like to see more of your pictures too. Maybe some rain gauge photos. Scan the QR code and you can always send those to us so we can see the amount of rain that we are going to build up here over the course of the next couple days.
Absolutely. So Alex, you mean to tell me we get you back today for the weekend.
Yes.
And then we also get an hour of extra sleep
yes.
this evening. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the extra hour of sleep. Some people, they set their alarm clock in, stick with their day-to-day schedule. I'm going to sleep in.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned this drought.
Yes.
And how important this rain is. You grew up on the farm. What are you hearing from those back at home?
Well, real quick here, certainly the good condition, or good thing that came out of the dry weather, at least for our farm in southwestern Wisconsin, is that when the rain ended, things dried out, and we were actually able to finish picking the soybeans and the corn early. So that was actually a plus.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Alex. Still ahead, Middleton and Madison West meet on the soccer pitch, playing for a trip to state. That's next in sports with Andrew.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Tammy Baldwin has our back. Tammy wrote the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel.
Thanks to Tammy Baldwin, my daughter's inhaler is now only $35 a month.
Tammy's Dairy Business Innovation Act has helped us hire more workers.
Tammy Baldwin's leading the charge to restore Roe v. Wade.
Tammy Baldwin fought like hell to save my retirement.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
To have someone in Washington that's got your back, oh man, that's gold.
Growing up here in southeast Wisconsin, hard work and getting things done are in Brian Stiles' DNA. It's why Stile is recognized as a problem solver in Congress. He's fighting for Wisconsin families every day, combating high prices at the grocery store and gas pump. And Brian Stile is protecting Social Security and Medicare because you've earned it. Brian Stile, getting it done for southeast Wisconsin. Fair Shake is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Rank Seed, we expect excellence in every seed, superior genetics, state-of-the-art processing facilities, and extensive testing for proper placement. Let us help you find the right seed for your growing conditions. Rank Seed. Results since 1846.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Rebecca Cook believes our parents and grandparents should be able to age with dignity. In Congress, she'll vote to strengthen Social Security and Medicare by repealing the tax on benefits, lowering the eligibility age for Medicare, and allowing Medicare to negotiate lower drug costs so our seniors get the prescription drugs they need at prices they can afford. Rebecca Cook, a homegrown Wisconsinite who fights for what's right. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
I think we're probably spending too much, throwing too much money on our southern border.
Last month, fentanyl killed my childhood friend. Drugs and criminals are pouring into our communities because Tammy Baldwin voted to open our border and defund our police. I moved here from New York to protect my family, but Tammy's bringing her New York values to Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin is dangerous.
I'm Eric Upty, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Election 2024 reaches the finish line, and News 3 Now is your local source on election night. Our team brings you continuous coverage Tuesday on WISC-TV, Television Wisconsin, channel3000.com, and channel 3000 Plus.
As we speak, Wisconsin is down in Iowa City. They just kicked off at Kinnick Stadium, trying to get back into the win column. That stands both for the season and in this series. The Badgers have lost 2 straight to Iowa for the first time since 2008-2009. We're scoreless in the first quarter at our last check. The Badgers trying to bring the bowl back to Madison. Elsewhere on the football field, Whitewater got back to their winning ways, and they really needed to. They finally get back in the win column, winning over River Falls 13-7. As for Platteville, they just keep pushing their chips to the center of the table. Another week, another win for the Pioneers. Despite playing one of the hardest schedules in the country, Wisconsin women's hockey has the chance today to go into their bye week a perfect 12-0. The only L's that they have on their entire roster, well, those are the names of Lacey and Layla. We'll get to that, and they help a lot. Scoreless in the first, Layla Edwards tips one in. Lainey Potter's shot just off the end of the stick. The Badgers get on the scoreboard, and then later it's Layla Edwards feeding Lacey Eden. Eden with the shot, and what a beautiful one it is. The Badgers stack up yet another victory. 4-0 the final in this one. Over to the men's side, they are 1-6 on the season as Wisconsin men's hockey. So a win at number 19 Notre Dame would go a long ways. And with just a few minutes left to go in this one, it looks like the Badgers are going to pull it off. They're winning 2-1 at our last check. To the pitch, high school boys soccer. Middleton playing Madison West for a trip to state. Tied at 1 apiece in the second half, but not any longer. Check out that goal from Brennan Maurer. Are you kidding me? Puts the free kick right into the net, and the Cardinals take the lead. And then later, the Regents get right back. Jacob Scully corrals the pass, turns and burns. What a laser this is. But Middleton would win it in penalty kicks. They're headed back to state to try to defend their state title. Up to Wisconsin Rapids for the state cross-country championships. This is amazing. Deerfield Cambridge's Emerson Droback. She won the D2 girls state individual title with a WIA girls record time of 17 minutes and 38 seconds. On the boys' side, Whitewater's Jack Hefty took home the D2 state title. He just wins year-round, both in track and in cross-country. But how about Emerson Droback setting, regardless of the division, setting the Wisconsin state record for a girls cross-country meet? Pretty incredible. How about that for Emerson?
That's really cool. That's the type of stuff that years down the line you tell your kids and your grandkids. Hopefully the record is still there. That way they don't think you're fibbing, but that's awesome that she was able to get that record.
Absolutely.
All right, so Alex, they were outside running.
Not a bad day.
Thankfully, there wasn't any rain then, but we could see some down the line, correct?
We could see a lot of rain over the next couple of days. Good soaking rain. We need it. We deserve it in southern Wisconsin. It'll actually be quite widespread across much of the upper Midwest. It'll also be mild through Tuesday and breezy conditions through Tuesday. Temperatures tomorrow, mid to upper 50s by the end of the evening as the warm front comes through. Well, that's when we're going to reach our high temperatures later in the evening. Sunday, look at this. Widespread, basically a washout as we head out through Election Day Tuesday. It should end in the afternoon on Election Day Tuesday, but not after giving us 1 to 3 inches of rain.
Fingers crossed because I'm going to be outside. Well, sounds good. Thank you, guys. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.